Welcome to Seeing with Your Soul, the podcast aimed to inspire you to find your voice and become the best, truest, and most authentic version of yourself. Spiritually intimate, soul-to-soul conversations, life-changing insights, and spiritual teaching and healing. Real, raw, unfiltered. Join your host, Tisha Michelle.
Welcome and welcome back to another episode of Seeing with Your Soul with me, Tisha Michelle, your host. Hi, how are you guys feeling? Let's do a temperature check, but I want you to check your own temperature. And just in this present moment, I just want you guys to just take a nice deep breath and just breathe in through your nose and just let it out through your mouth. And I want you to just ask yourself, say, how am I truly feeling? And I want you to pay attention to where are you feeling this extra energy at? Are you feeling it in your stomach? Are you feeling it in your chest? Are you feeling it in your heart? Do you not even know where you're feeling it? Just really do a nice temperature check. It's so important. And I'm coming to you right now because I'm in such a weird space personally. So I'm going to be really vulnerable with you guys right now because I know that I'm not the only one. And as much as I like to keep people at a distance, I give y'all a little something, something, but I don't let everybody in, right? Uh, I've really been called to just talk to you guys, just to be honest. So for me, I am in a space right now where my whole life is falling apart. And the weird thing about it is that I know that it's falling apart in order to be rebuilt. And this is not like the whole cliche, like, oh, your life is falling apart, which means you get to fly. Like, no, I truly, truly feel it because the foundations in my life that I thought were solid, some of them I already knew that shit was rocky. That shit was just going to crash at any given time. And I was like, I'll figure it out later. But there were people and there were situations that I did feel like they were solid or they were a firm foundation, and they're crumbling. And I'm not spiraling out of control. And I think that's because over these past 5, 6 years, I've done a lot of work, inner work. So I know not to not that I know, but my reaction isn't to spiral out of control. My reaction is so much self-awareness that I see it. And, like, have you ever seen like a car accident and it just caught you just so off guard that you're like, holy shit, did that just happen? Or maybe not even in like real life. I don't know if you guys watch Raising Kanan, but like that last episode was like, holy shit. Didn't see that one coming. That's how I feel right now. That's how I've been feeling. Was like, yo, I didn't see that happening, but I get it. And I've talked to you guys before about like surrendering and I'm like in this space right now where I see it crumbling and I see the fire energy, and if it's when it's dealing with a person, like the boom, like we're like at it, or at each other. And I got to a point where I just said, I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting with nobody. I'm not fighting to keep something. I'm not fighting to talk to someone that doesn't want to talk to me. Well, let me correct that. I'm not fighting with anybody that chooses to misunderstand me. I'm not doing any of that anymore. Like, this is the ultimate like surrender. And as scary and as uncomfortable of a space this is, it's also freeing and liberating because I know what's on the other side is about to pop so fucking amazing that I'm going to be like, damn, Tisha, you really ain't see that one coming. Like, damn, that's how great life is. Wow, wow, wow. So If you are in a space right now where you feel like your life is falling apart, allow it. Let it fall apart. Let it fall apart so you can rise above. Like what they say, like the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? It's that. That shit is real. That shit is real. And I know it's scary. And I'm giving you a virtual hug here. I'm locking arms with you and we're going to rock out together. But again, if you feel like your life is falling apart, let it. Because I want you to trust that God sees the bigger picture. God knows that these things have to come crumbling down in order to be rebuilt so you can live a life of sustainability. And that's in all areas. It's not just like financial, but that's financial, it's relationships, it's your desires, your dreams. Like you want things to be sustainable. You don't want to have to keep going back and changing things and because, oh, this wasn't this and this wasn't that. Of course, life is full of changes, right? But there is a point where things are solid and there's certain things or certain people or situations that is just rock solid. And because that foundation is so firm, nothing can shake it. And then you're able to build on it and you can continue building and building and building. And it can go high as you want and it can go as wide as you want. It can go as deep as you want. And just know that that foundation is so fucking firm that that shit isn't going anywhere. So you can continue to grow, to evolve, to experience, to have fun, to do all that good shit. So again, if this is for you, you're not alone. It is uncomfortable, but I promise you, it's going to be so worth it. And that's me to me. I'm talking to myself too, because I got to let this shit burn. I got to let this shit fall down. I got to let this shit crumble. It is what it is. And that's not like on a fuck it mentality. Like I don't care because I'd be lying if I said I didn't care. I care a lot. But I also care more about my well being, my sanity, my peace. And I care about knowing how happy I could be in this lifetime. Many of you that have been listening to me from the beginning, you know that this podcast came about from the death of my best friend who died at 39, y'all. 30 fucking 9 years old. Her whole life ahead of her. So with that everyday constant reminder, I'm like, yo, I don't want to take anything for granted. I don't want, God forbid something was to happen to me today. I don't want my best friend or my kids to be like, oh, my mom was stressed about this or this was happening, this or that. I don't want that to be that memory and that thought and these things that are in our lives that really aren't that important. They're really not even that important, but we're giving it so much energy and giving our energy away to so many things that's not even ours or giving it to people that you don't even have anything for yourself. And that was what was the start. I'm jumping around because I got to share this. That was a start for me where it was like I was giving so much to everybody around me or even just doing this work and randomness and stuff that I was giving everything to everyone that when I got into a situation, I didn't have anything for myself. And that was my first true wake up call. And when I say that, because it was probably signs and stuff, no, I know there were signs, but I didn't see it. But when I couldn't show up for myself, that's when I was like, wait, what is happening? How is it that I can be here for everybody else and help in all these other situations? But now here I am in this space and I feel like I'm stuck. And y'all already know how I feel about stuck. We ain't never stuck. We ain't no damn trees, right? But feeling like I just don't have it. I don't have the energy. I don't have the mental capacity to even handle my own situation is because I gave all of that energy away. So if you are feeling like that, I want you to really like check in with yourself and to see where is your energy? Who are you giving it to? Or what are you giving it to? And I need you to stop and I need you to take it back so you can have this energy for yourself. Because as much as we want to help other people and we want to show up for other people and we want to be there for this person and be there for that person, we are all on an individual journey. And yes, our lives can run parallel to other people. But at the end of the day, I'm the main character in my life. You're the main character in your life. And other people have supporting roles. Some are extra. Some are just like, how the fuck did you even get here? But you know what? It is what it is. Do your thing, right? But we are the main character. And we have to have this energy and this love and this compassion for ourselves. And then we can help other people. So no, don't let anybody make you feel like you're selfish, because you want to put yourself first and you want to take care of yourself. That is necessary. That is necessary. So I was listening to this sermon, and the guy said that the point to being wealthy is to be able to have the freedom to do what God called you to do. And when you really dissect that and you really think about it, we're all here for a reason, right? Everybody has their own different levels of faith, right? In their thought process, whether it's God, Allah, spirit guides, angels, ancestors, universe, who you're connecting to, and what you call as your creator, and all the other roles around there, right? If you believe that you have a purpose here in life, even if you're not really sure what it is, but you know that you have like a purpose, you have to really think about it and like reflect and say, is my purpose here on earth to be stressed out, to be in a lack mentality, whether you feel like you're lacking love, joy, money, friendship, whatever it is? Like, is that what your purpose is? And I don't think any of you are saying like, yeah, that's my purpose, is to be in a miserable situation, to be unhappy. No, that's not. That's none of our purposes. Like, we're here to evolve. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to continuously grow, to change, to really push ourselves to see, like, yo, what else can I do here while I'm on this earth? Because I don't know when it's going to be my last day. Even though sometimes we have this misconception that we feel like we're gonna just, live until, we're 100 years old and all. And while that may be great, we really just don't know. Let's take it back to Gloria, my best friend. She died at 39. We had plans, we had plans. Gone, done. So I owe it to myself, and you owe it to yourself, to really rock out on this journey. Ask God and just say, how happy can I be? I want to know how happy I could be in this lifetime. I want to know how loved I can feel in this lifetime. I want to know how much love I can give in this lifetime. I want to know how creative I can be in this lifetime. With the time that I have here, I want to know what this is. I want to experience this. I want to experience that. And nowhere in that is it saying that I want to be miserable, or I want to be sad, or I want to be whatever those things. And again, don't get this twisted. I'm not saying that everything needs to be peaches and cream and roses and whatever the other saying is. I'm not saying any of that, because if that was the case, that shit would be mad boring, right? Like, going through life is like everything is just super like easy. No, what it is for us to continue to like show up for ourselves, have these experiences. When we hit something that we feel is like a little resistance, like, what do we want to do? Or do we want to go another route? Or do we want to just like bulldoze through it? But while we're bulldozing through it, it's costing us our sanity. It's costing us our peace. It may cost like relationships. It may cost a lot of different things where you could just pivot and go another route. And when you go that other route, it's not that it's necessarily easier. There's just more, it might be, but there's just more experiences that way, but more experiences that help you to grow and doesn't help to like hinder you and keep you in like one space, because you're trying to fight this thing that's in, you're just like resisting it, and you're just pushing it and pushing it. And it's like, what is that thing when you're like trying to fight with the water and you're like pushing that with the water? You're never going to win. You got to just float, which is you getting into that surrender or pivoting, going into that space, right? So life is all about choices, right? And when we make these choices, we got to stand on that shit, right? But when we make the choice and it has a consequence or a reaction from it, like, what are you going to do what are you going to do when that happens, right? What are you going to do? Are you going to just like fall into a shell and just hide and just be like, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do? Or are you going to say, what is this teaching me? Have I felt like this before? Where what part of my life is this showing up? Is there a pattern in here? It's like getting to like all of those things and questioning all of that stuff, right? To really better understand yourself. So again, If you feel like you are in a place right now where your life is falling apart, allow it. Allow it to fall apart so you can get clear and you can look to see where the things were shaky and where those things weren't solid, and how you can pivot and how you can make changes, and how you can I don't want to necessarily say like you need to adapt to it, but I guess yeah. I guess it's really your definition of adapt, right? But when it's falling apart, instead of trying to hold everything together and it's causing you, again, your peace, which is the biggest thing, like, no, we don't want to give our peace away. We just surrender and we say, do your thing. Continue to highlight and show me these areas so I won't be in that situation again. Because we don't want to keep repeating these things. We want to actually learn the lesson, because like when you learn that lesson, you unlock another level within you. And it's like, don't y'all want to go to another level? I know that I do. I thought that I was at a really high level, which I was, but I put that cap there. And now I'm seeing that, there is no cap, that I am going to the highest level that I want to go. But in order to do that, I have to surrender, and I have to allow these things to fall apart so I can be much, much more self-aware, and I won't repeat those lessons again. That's what I got for you guys. Thank you for even stumbling upon this or clicking the play, because I'm in a very vulnerable state right now. And it's interesting because I heard Spirit say record, and I'm like, why? I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I was like, why? Why? Then I was like, you know what? This is all a part of the things falling apart to be rebuilt. And that is, if you've been listening to me for a while, you've heard me talk about being vulnerable, where I used to think that being vulnerable was very weak. Like, nah, first of all, I don't want to tell nobody my business and know anything about me, because I don't want you to use that against me, or I don't want you to judge me because I want, I have this facade of like everything is just like perfect in my world. And I was doing that and didn't even know that that's what I was doing until I really started becoming self-aware. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, everything is not peaches and cream all the time. And it is okay to be vulnerable, as I have been with you guys. So, but you got this. I got this. And we got this together. And on a side note, I am going to be launching a talk show. I'm not going to give you a lot of details. I'm not going to give you actually any details other than stay tuned, people. Stay tuned. Actually, you know what? That's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned. But again, thank you guys for listening. You got this. If you need some support, you need someone to hold your hand, or you just need somebody to hold space, whether we've talked before or we haven't, reach out to me. The best way is through Instagram at Mindset Slayer. Send me a DM. If you really want to go further, you can actually go to my site, healalignandglow.com, and you can book a session. I don't really do too many sessions nowadays. This past year, I'll open up some slots and stuff occasionally. As of right now, I have some open through February. But even if you don't want to, this is not even to get people to book sessions with me or do anything on that. I just understand what you're going through, because I'm going through it. And sometimes it's hard to see the label when you're inside the jar. So sometimes it's hard for you to see those things. So when somebody is on the outside who actually have had that experience, they're able to help bring the things that's already naturally within you out. And that's the type of guy that I am. So just know I got you. Until next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to Seeing with Your Soul. If something you heard resonated with you, feel free to rate, review, and share with others. If you are looking to go deeper, you can connect with Tisha Michelle on Instagram at Mindset Slayer, or visit www.healingalignedglow.com.